How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to a special edition of Christopher's Over the Top. Today and for the next couple of months I will be renovating my basement. I thought I'd bring you along just to show you what's going on, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and the reasons behind it. Currently I'm going to be working on this wall right behind me. This is the first wall I'll be starting. It's going to be the most tricky one just because I got to frame around the panel here, and I got a window and a header here for the ductwork that I got to go around. So this will be the most challenging cuts. Normally I just build the wall and the floor and then lift it into place, but in this case I am going to start from the bottom up. I've not don't have any anchors yet to anchor my floorboards, so I'll be leveling it as I go, and then I'll probably have to re-level it afterwards, just when I screw it down, and I can do that after. But yeah, let me bring you down and we will figure out what's going on and the reasons behind why I'm doing it. All right. Okay, so what I've done is I have already chalk lined the floor, and I've brought the board out from the actual wall. A couple reasons for that is I don't want direct contact with the concrete. This will allow me to now to get a little bit of insulation in behind each stud, as you know the wood's not a very good insulator, so the more I can get it behind there the better. Another reason behind it is this wall is as crooked gets. So I needed to bring it out in order to keep this wall straight. That's very important that I keep it straight. Got stuff laying around from my electrolysis machine. Anyway, so I'm going to start with this. Again, I'm not going to lag it down at this point. I'm just going to start starting in the corner and working my way that way. One thing I do have to be aware again is this other wall in front of me at the corner. It's probably not going to be plumb as well, so I'll have to bring that out with the level to ensure that it's okay. Now I'm going to have to get the header board and figure out the length on that and go from there. Okay, so let's get started on that. Let's bring the tape out. Let's get some measurements going. Okay, one other thing I need to be aware of when I come to the corner here is I need to, this wall here, I gotta find out how bad this wall is out of plumb, whether it's off and how much, because I do want to keep away from this wall as well. So I want to just stay probably about a good, I'd say 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So yeah, so your typical 2x4, I mean a lot of people know this already, they're not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. I'm not too sure you can see this. They're actually 3.5 by 1.5. I'll bring you down and show you that in a minute. But yeah, so what I'm going to do, maybe I'm going to come out, I think I'm going to come out about 2.5 inches. That should allow me for any wows in this wall. This was going to be hard to check, just with all the stuff that's behind. I got to move everything in order to check it. So right now I'm just going to go to 2.5. I just need to know that for when I plumb up to the top and where I need to cut my boards. So I'm just going to, I'm not measuring this, I'm just going to run a small chalk line. I don't have a good pencil to write on the concrete. So I'm just going to run this under at 2.5. I'm going to take it from this wow on the wall here. Yeah, they got this terrible spray-on stucco, I guess, and terrible stuff. This is hard to do with one person. Alright, let's see if we can get it. There we go. So that'll give me a guideline of where to now set this board. And so I got the other chalk line, so I'm going to set this here. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the level. Let me go down and just show you the dimensions on the lumber there. Hold on a sec. Okay, so the wall's not out too bad. It's only out about a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a 1/2 inch over the 6 feet. This is just about probably just under 7-foot ceiling, I believe, or something like that. But my first issue I'm going to run into is this small piece I got to put into here. I got no anchor for it. So what I'm going to have to do is just cut this piece first, and then I'll plumb up the 2x4 that's going to go in here. And So yeah, 'cause it's not going to be very long, and I got to trim in for this thing here, and then when I get this 2x4 up, I need to put another one up for nailing on the other wall. So I'm going to go ahead, let's cut that board, and then we will take it from there, and then I'll probably cut my first upright and get it in place, and then work on the other ones. All right, let's do this. Cut some wood. Yeah, just one more thing to add. The measurement here, I need to come in, and because I need to frame out, and I'm not sure if I'm going to drywall on the inside or not, but just to give myself a little wiggle room, I'm probably going to leave maybe a ½ inch, a little bit more, probably a little more, just to accommodate for any drywall or whatever I'll need to put in here. Now, here's the problem I'm going to run into. If I put it in another, I'm not going to have a second board, so I might just utilize, well, we'll put the first one anyway, and then I'll see if I need to utilize another board for the frame of this, or just use the secondary board that I'm going to use for this wall here. So let's just cut that and we'll move on. I was just thinking out loud there earlier about leaving some space in here for anything, but that wouldn't leave me any nailing surface because I'm already going to be out 2.5 inches. So I might even just use that board for nailing in a frame. All right, just hold on a sec. I got to figure this out. First thing I'm going to do, just square off the end. You always take off the end just to square everything off and make sure it's nice and straight and square. There's actually just got a blade on there, fine tooth. We were doing some flooring, so it's the blade I got in there now, and hopefully it'll work for this. Hopefully it's not too bad. Woo! Burning that wood. Not the best blade in the world for that. Maybe I'll change it up. Whew, sawdust. Alright, awesome. So my first measurement for the top piece is 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and mark out the 4 inches on that. Yeah, I don't have a pencil on me. Put the other saw blade on. Okay, so what I've decided to do, just because of the, just to try to figure out, I'm going to actually nail this 2x4 to the end first. I've already pre-measured the board, took off the 1.5 inches for the top header, and I'm going to nail it to here. This is my 4th piece of wood, and I've never run into that. Every time I tried to drive a nail through this, it would split on me, like every one. I guess because it's so short, I'm not sure. But anyway, I went and pre-drilled these holes, just so I can hopefully reduce any splitting, and hopefully I can get this all buttoned up. So let's get this nailed in and get it up so I can start on something more than this. I've been working at it for a while and haven't accomplished anything. Oh, no splitting. Nice. Alrighty, finally, that only took about 2 hours to get that nail in. Okay, so before I put this board up, before it's too late, I'm gonna put down some foam insulation underneath the 2x4. This is just to eliminate any concrete to wood contact. Just prevent any molding or rotting prematurely. Okay, so we'll get ahead and we'll get that loaded in and move on to the next step. Okay, so for the next step, what I'm going to want to do Now this board really isn't going to, it's going to be kind of hidden under behind the corner, so I wasn't too worried about this one. But moving forward on all the vertical studs, I'm going to want to crown the lumber. Basically, I'm going to look down the edge and see if it goes this way or like over or under. And I want to consistently keep all the studs in the same orientation as far as crown. You know, it's a preference, I guess, whether you want in or out. I'm going to put mine out, that way when I can screw in the center on my drywall and then come in from the top and bottom and push it instead of trying to push in the center. So what I'm going to do is just look down and see how straight they are. Okay, so now this one, the crown is up. So I'm just going to mark each stud. I'm going to do a few places down just when I cut it, I'll know, in case I cut that off. So now every stud that I cut, the crown's going to be in that orientation. So everything's going to be this way. So that way I know when I actually go to do, and if I put anything up against the wall like a countertop or something, you're not going to see any waves in behind the back of the wall. It should all be pretty consistent as long as I can keep everything in line on the studs themselves. Okay, so I'm going to measure up the next one, and we'll get that cut up and we'll get it in place. So 81 1/8, same as the first one. We'll go ahead and I'll cut that one up and we'll get that one in place. Hey guys, welcome to day 2. I did not get a whole lot done yesterday. Time I got messing around with that and the boards that kept splitting. It was time for dinner and that was it for the night. I had to go do some other things. So anyway, we're back for day 2. I think from now on things are going to go a little bit smoother. I should be able to bang out quite a bit today. But we'll start with the, I got to screw this in or nail this in. But I'm going to pre-drill it again just to help from splitting. That's a big problem. So these toenail ones, I'm going to have to pre-drill them. I need a better drill bit. That one's kind of terrible, but it's going to do for now, and then we will we'll carry on. So yeah, everything working out good here. Everything's looking to be nice. Everything's pretty plumb at this point, and then we're going to move on, get ready to box around this, so we have something good ready to go. Everything should be good and level. We'll carry on. So hold on a sec. Let's get going. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just mark my 16-inch centers all the way down the length of this. Now what I've done here is I want to mark the outside of the 2x4. So being 1.5 inches, I'm going to take the 16-inch on center, go 3/4 up. But I'm going to measure from the outside of this, so then I got to add another 3/4. So basically, when I measure from the outside to the outside, 16 inches will give me the outside of the stud. So that way, it's just easy. Now I can just go ahead, mark the 16-inch center, scrub the line, and make sure, make sure that every 2x4 gets lined up to the same inside of that line. That way, I'm 16-inch centers right across the board, and that will that should work. All right, let's get that done. Guys, let's get you caught up to speed here. This is really tricky, just going around this window. I actually built these 3 boards, the bottom window sill and the top sill, and this I've built on the ground. And then I got to come over to this side now and get this board, because it goes into the header of the ductwork. And then I got to come down with that and then go across and meet up with this board and this stud here. But the problem is I got to keep everything level and true while I'm doing it, so there's no, so it's straight. So I'm kind of going one step at a time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put the stud right up 1.5 inches short of here, and then I'm going to run the top plate across. That way I should be able to level all this off, and then I can nail this in level, and then I can work on leveling up the top. I can measure up and level off the top board. I know this is level. I'll have to nail it in soon. Probably one of my next steps to nail this in so it's at least secure at the bottom, and then I can level off from there. But everything so far is going pretty good. I had one little hiccup. I put the boards reversed and had to take it apart, but that was no big deal. Okay, so let's move on. We will get the this all done here, at least to past the ductwork header there. All right, let's get her done. Okay, guys, I just done a little break there for a little bit, and I'm doing pretty good. I got most of this side complete. I got the window framed out. I still need to fill in the studs on this side, but then I'm gonna my next step. I'm not gonna fill this in right away. Is I want to get the stud down over there. I'm not too sure. Hopefully you can see it. There's another stud that goes over the header here, and I want to get that stud in and leveled on that side. That way I can get this, make sure this wall here is nice and plumb, true, and level. So let's move on. I will carry on and continue, and hopefully we will get that banged out pretty quick. guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up for the night. Dinner became ready, and by the time I got it all ready to go and ate it, it's too late for me to start cutting and hammering. I live in an attached house, so next door our neighbors have little kids, so I can't be down here sawing and hammering and cutting. That just wouldn't be right. So anyway, thanks for being here for the part one of a multi-part series. I'm sure this is going to go on for a while. Any pointers or anything, please let me know down in the comments. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. It's a little tricky just in this area. Once I get all this done, it should go a lot easier just because of the different boxes and make sure everything's secure and everything. So, all right, guys, remember to head down, hit subscribe, share, like, do all that good stuff. I will see you guys on the next episode. Have a good night, everyone. Be awesome.